Hello and welcome to my video channel again. Just going to straighten that up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to show you a card, and if you like it, please subscribe below and turn on notifications so any future videos that I do, you'll be notified. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Now, what I'm going to show you today is how to do this card. Very straightforward. It's very quick and easy. We've got a little bit of die cutting at the bottom, a bit of gold embossing at the top here, and it just produces a nice, elegant, straightforward Christmas card. And the thing about this time of year, we're making a whole, this is probably the busiest time of year where we make the most cards. So my aim is to show you, quick and easy cards that you can do very quickly, but still produce a very elegant, nice finish to your projects. So what we'll be using today is the Tim Holtz Wise Men die set, which is this one here. So it's this one here. We're just using the main die, which is this here, and then we will be using from his Christmas time to stamp set this star, and where it's got peace and the star. So we'll be using that, and we'll be using that with gold embossing powder. And I will also be using a 6 by 6 inch black card blank. We've also got ready my anti-static bag, anti-static duster. This is Phil Martin's Sentimentally Yours super fine gold embossing powder, a few 3D foam pads, the Versamark white ink pad, clear ink pad, the Versamark. So we'll be using that to do the stamping with, and I think that is basically it. So first things first, let's die cut our 3 wise men. So obviously I'm gonna stick this down with a little bit of tape, and I tend to, if I can, put the tape where I know it's going to be cut away. So as you can see, I've done that, and I've just put the tape where I know it's going to be, all this is going to be cut away, so that's absolutely fine. So I'm using my Gemini. So now I'm going to put it this way because I know the greatest pressure is on this side, all this side. So so cutting plate, clear plastic shim, magnetic sheet, and then another clear cutting plate on top, and that is your sandwich. Obviously, if you're using a different sandwich or a different machine, then obviously follow your manufacturer's instructions of what sandwich you use for that particular machine. So get rid of those bits, put that to one side. We've done that, and then just very carefully ease off, and then with a pair of scissors just snip and just very carefully, there we go. So put that to, I'm putting that to one side, I'll sort that out later. And then we've got a little bit here, so I'm just going to snip between the edge of the path and him. So there we go, and I'm just giving a quick check over. So there we go, there's our little die cut of the 3 kings. Now I've still got some little bits in here, so I'm going to get my pokey tool just to poke them out just like that. And there we go, there's our 3 wise men. So I'm going to leave that to one side. Clear up my rubbish here from the odd bits and pieces. And what we're going to do now is stamp the star. So I'm going to get my stamping platform. And obviously make sure it's on the rubber bit up here, if you can see that, because we are using a rubber stamp. Put the card. I'm just going to swap around, plug in my heat tool, so I'll be good to go with that. Now what I need to do now is I've got my anti-static bag, and I'm just going to give this a thoroughly good coating of powder, roughly where I'm going to emboss. So put that back, we won't need that again, and we get our stamp and roughly place it where you want to stamp. So and obviously make sure it's straight. We can bring our platform over, press down on the stamp, get our Versamark clear embossing ink pad, and just lightly, very lightly tap all over the stamp. And what you should see is a nice clear film of ink all over the stamp. And don't forget these little bits down here, the points. I think that would be good. Put that to one side. Yeah, that looks absolutely fine. So we bring that over and we just let the ink soak into the card for a few seconds. And just move that in a bit. It's a bit better. There we go. Cool, I'm pleased with that. That's good, that's stamped really well. I don't know if you can see up in the corner here where the stamp, where you've got a faint watermark, that's obviously is where the powder's gonna adhere to. And you have got time to clean your stamp. Because the Versamark is quite slow drying. You've got a couple of minutes. So, and those of you who know me, I always clean my stamps. And just get a bit of tissue, clean that off, and then we can just get my little scrubby, dry that off. And now I know, because that's clean, it's good to go for the next time I want to use it. So put that back on its sheet so I know where it is. We can put our stamping platform away and put our Versamark ink pad away, because we won't be needing that again. The gold embossing powder can go away, that can go away. And now, no, we need the embossing powder, don't we? Do. So here we go. So I'm just going to there we go. And because I will show you in a minute, but because I've thoroughly went probably a little bit over the top with the anti-static bag, I hope you can see but I've got very little specs or anything, and what I've got is an image of the stamp onto the card, and that's exactly what I want. So with my heat tool, just going to give this a quick blast. Don't worry about your card curling up, because that will sort itself out. Here we go, it's changing colour. Now, for those of you who are new to embossing and don't know quite what to look for, this bit here, you can see it's still dull, so it hasn't been melted. So I need to put that onto the, do that with a heat gun. And over this side, you can see it's all nice gold, shiny, and that's the difference. That's what you're aiming for. So do a little bit more on this side, get that nice and shiny. Cool, sorted. So we now have on the front of our card our stamped image saying peace and the star. So all we need to do now is attach our 3 kings, which I have put up here. So we need a few 3D foam pads. Now, if you're conscious about postage, then by all means use a glue or a tape runner. And if you use a dotty one, it will just be good. Now, what I mean by the dotty one is the Crafter's Companion, that one there, and it's just dots, like glue dots on a tape. So again, that is good for this kind of card. So I'm just putting 3D foam pads over my die cut. So I've got a nice, yeah, I think that will be enough. So we just peel these off, get them off. You can use a pokey tool if you want, so again, this is, I know it's this is probably the tedious part, watching me doing all this, but I mean, as I said at the top of the video, this is the time when we're going to make the most cards, and to get ideas of how to do straightforward cards that are very easy to do, but also produce a nice stylish classic finish, is I think what we're all aiming for. So to do something like this is quite good. And also, you're still making and producing your own cards, but with a nice professional finish. So there we go, that's all done. And then we just pop this down onto our card blank. I find it easier to open it up, and then make sure this is straight. You can put it right up to the line if you want, or if you want a bit of a border, you could go with that. Make sure it's straight, so you can go in like that, press down on the 3 kings, and there you have it. You have got the 3 kings with your stamped peace sentiment and the 3 kings at the bottom. And what I've already done is I've done my sentiment on the inside, which I've done on computer, and I've also produced on the inside handmade by myself. So we just need a little bit of tape, 3D foam, craft, double-sided tape, that's what I'm trying to say. Goodness me, what am I like? Can't get me words out. So there we go, on each side. So yes, this sentiment I've just produced on the computer in Word, and I mean, you can go online. There's loads of different verses. You can even get stamps for verses, which I've obviously got. Make sure your verse is up the right way, and that can be slipped into. Get that one right. Don't want that. That can be slipped into your card, because I think an insert on cards is pretty good. And there we have it. And then we've got our insert all done, and that will be popped into an envelope, and that's another one done. So what I've done here, just to give you a heads up if you're that organized, these are all the ones I've yet to do. These are all cards that we received last year from people. So and these are the ones I've already done and made cards for people, so I'm keeping them in 2 separate piles. So, and this is why I do batch making cards, because as I say, this is the time of year where you're going to make the most cards. So this is what I'm in the process of doing now. I hope you liked the video. I hope that's given you some inspiration. Please turn on the notifications and subscribe and like, and that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching. Bye.